Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time when Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Fearless Broadcasting. My name is Pat Wilkinson, up in the booth for, yes, it is here, ladies and gentlemen, the final mainstream broadcast with all of you watching wherever you are in the world. So I wanted to take a quick moment pre and post race to just say thank you all for watching. We hope you've enjoyed all of the broadcasts that I've been a part of over the past 5 months. Really, truly has meant a great deal to me and to all of us here at Fearless Broadcasting that you've shown us so much support. When I first started here, we were just shy of 300 subscribers, and as of last week, we are up to 700 of you watching all over the world, so we couldn't be more thankful for all the wonderful support you guys have done for all of us here at Fearless Broadcasting. Of course, it's not just me. It's, of course, the boss as well, Ethan Farless, all the guys and all the teams we've broadcasted for, all the series and leagues that we've worked with over these past 5 months. Has been an absolute pleasure to be broadcasting for all of you and to be racing with you before I started broadcasting, of course. None of this would have happened if I, well, essentially got laid off back in December. And now that I have a new job coming tomorrow, where I'm going to be working at night, sadly, this is no longer a overall option for me to continue doing. I need to put my real world ahead of my private world. As much as I enjoy broadcasting, it's not paying enough of the bills. So, unfortunately, I will be going over to weekend broadcasts exclusively from now on. We will still be doing the Dutch's Dirty Dozen on Saturday nights, and then we will be doing the Wild West Racing League Raiders Wasteland Truck Series on Sundays. And coming up in May, we have the AINO GR86 iRacing Cup, which will be starting soon in May. So keep your eyes out for that. That'll be a afternoon series starting around 3 o'clock Eastern Time here on Fearless Broadcasting. And those will be headed by me and anybody else who joins me up in the booth. Everybody will be welcome, of course. We also have the Wild West 600 coming up soon in May, the Saturday before the Indy 500 of Memorial Day weekend. So make sure to tune in for that. That is going to be 600 miles of nothing but pure chaos with the Wild West Racing League, and we can't be more excited for it. So please make sure that you guys continue to subscribe and watch the streams. It really does mean a lot to us. And I just wanted to say, for the last time, thank you for all of your support. Thank you for all of the enjoyment and just overall fun we've managed to have over the past 5 months since December. I've got nothing else to say. Thank you all for watching. We hope you've enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more racing action with all of us here at Fearless Broadcasting. And until next time, goodbye, farewell, and amen.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one. Premier Racing.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Fearless Broadcasting. My name's Pat Wilkinson, up in the booth. Joining me tonight is Chris Maxwell, up here tonight in the Fearless Broadcasting booth with the Wild West Racing League ARCA series here tonight on Monday. Chris, welcome up to the booth.
How's it going, Pat?
Doing pretty good, and I just realized none of my stuff is set up for tonight because I am an idiot. So
Yeah.
don't mind me as I fix all my stuff here on SDK. Oops. There we go. Nashville Fairgrounds here with the Wild West Racing League ARCA series, still unsponsored for the ARCA series itself. Ty Sykes currently with the fastest lap at 18.362 in the number one out here tonight as he rolls off of turn two into turns 3 and 4. Plenty steep banking out here tonight. Hopefully we have a little bit better luck out here rather than Martinsville with the truck series we were at last night. We watched the last 20 seconds of practice here tonight. Chris, having watched a good bit of the practice, what are some of your early thoughts heading into this race?
Well, I think definitely we have to look at the dominant performance last week in the ARCA Menard series, coming from the winner of last week's race. That being the number. Let me get it real quick. That being the number 91, holding off till the end at Michigan. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how he does coming into this. And then we also got to look at your points leader of this. The points leader right now in the points still after last week, still Brandon Harris. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does. Christian Elliott jumping up in second. So definitely going to be interesting to see how these guys do. It's a night race at this short track of NASCAR Fairgrounds Speedway. So definitely going to be interesting to see all that.
Couldn't have put it better myself as we ride on board with the 88 of James Napier going inside to roll cage cam. He started his first flying lap out here tonight in Nashville Fairground. Through turns 1 and 2 we go, all the way up to the high side, holding a midline. Not sure if he overdrove it into turn 1. Managed to wrestle it back down into turns 3 and 4. Staying about half a lane up off of the yellow line on the bottom of the racetrack down into the start-finish straight. First flying lap completed, a 19.047. Timmy McDonald in the 25, 72 behind. Down through turns 3 and 4, staying on with James Napier.
The one of Ty Sykes spins out his qualifying lap back in the pits.
Not the kind of start you want to be seeing. James Napier improving on his fastest time at 18.85. Tanner Ensign up to second. Brandon Harris taking the lead in the 33. Mike Presley and Brandon Harris and Blake Cutterell. How do you say that? Cutterell. Excuse me. I can only English so goodly.
Same.
Jumping over to Justin Bell as we watch him charge down the backstretch into turn 3 in the number 8. Off of turn 4. Scraping against the wall a little bit by the skin of his teeth. Managed to recover it. 8 of Justin Bell holding 10th at the moment. He starts his second qualifying run. Very loose off of turn 2. Managed to recover it back into turn 3. Off of 4. Past the start-finish line. Very sideways off of turn 4. Does not improve. Holding 11th at the moment. Trey Smith in the number 3, up to 10th at the moment after his first flying lap in the Quaker State number 3 Chevrolet off of turn 4. Let's see if he improves out here tonight at Nashville Fairgrounds. He does with a banger lap, goes up to second place. Keith Ayers currently leading the way with an 18.695. Trey Smith in second. Krishan Elliott up to fourth in the number 91 84 hundredths behind the field, or behind the leaders, excuse me. In the number 91 Bark Box Machine off of turn 4, past the start finish line, and he takes pole. 18.672. Mike Loveless out on track now in the Meals on Wheels Water Wheel Foundation 68. Slowing down as he sets a 9th place lap. Not sure if he thought he had to take another crack at it, but slowed way down off of turn 2. Not sure what happened there. Wayne Isbell in the 6, getting going now. Or just coming to a stop. Never mind. Scott Rush, Jerome Cooper, Ty Sykes, and Daniel Falconer not yet qualified. I do not know what the penalties for tonight are. I will try and find those. Announcements, penalties. Here we go. That is all from the second. That is irrelevant. Okay, well. Fearless Broadcasting, brought to you in part by the Fearless Racing Network, Fearless Setup Shops, Puffy's Swag Shop, Goose's Rattle Can Shop, and Rock Bottom Racing. And of course, our friends over at Juicy Spider Studios and Premier Racing Setups. Use code FEARLESS15, FEARLESS15 at checkout for 15% off your orders. Wild West Racing League, brought to you in part by WIO Outlaw Custom Diecast, the Stand for Wit Foundation, Redline Radio, and Raiders Wasteland, the premier DayZ experience on Xbox, veteran-owned and operated. Raiders Wasteland offering something for every gamer for looking to survive the zombie apocalypse. Weekly events for PvE and PvP players, and different maps for all to enjoy. Join the Discord today at Raider PvE, RAIDER PvE. Waiting on the end of qualifying, as it's just ticking over now. Chris, any predictions now that qualifying is over? We have a plethora of really good race cars out here tonight. 20 of the Wild West Racing League's very best. Who do you think's going to take it out here tonight after the 70 laps here at Nashville Fairgrounds?
Absolutely. Definitely looking at that 19 car, Christian Elliott. You know, he is currently your pole sitter.
Sean is in the number 91, I think you'll find.
Yeah. Why is it saying... Oh, I'm looking at the wrong person. Okay, god dang.
Keith Ayers in the 19.
Anyways. Yeah, okay, yeah, Keith Ayers in the 19, but Krishan in the 91, setting that whole lap, you know, he was very dominant at Michigan last week and made a impressive run. I think he'll definitely be someone to look at, but also keep a look at that 33 of Brandon Harris. Still your points leader, still in front of Krishan, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see what is going to happen there. I think as well, we need to look at, I think as well, you know, we definitely should keep an eye on Trey Smith. Trey Smith, very dominant last week at Michigan, giving a strong run for the lead. Unfortunately, just running out of time and not enough help to get back up there. And it looks like quite a few people are getting EOLs tonight, so it looks like Ty Sykes is giving an EOL, Wayne Isabel is getting an EOL, Tanner Enzine's getting an EOL, Mike Presley getting an EOL, Justin Bell getting an EOL, and Brandon Harris getting an EOL to start this race off.
Definitely going to be a interesting race out here tonight at Nashville Fairgrounds. And I have to agree with you, Krishan Elliott and Trey Smith, two very high-end picks, especially in this league. These guys are dominant drivers. Of course, Trey Smith being one of the owners as well certainly kind of helps. But I got to be honest, my picks for tonight got to go with our buddy Mike Loveless down in the number 68, down in 9th place. Been in a bit of a rut recently, because I can't English. Not been having the greatest finishes overall, but has been very consistent, working his way back up into the higher parts of the fields in every race that we've been in so far in the past few weeks. I think he is going to be a dominant car out here tonight. Short track tends to be a very good place for him. He also, I know for a fact, enjoys the ARCA cars and the Truck Series vehicles. Outside of him, I think another safe prediction would have to be our friend Tanner Enzyme in the 44. WIO Outlaw Custom Diecast 44, running a, I believe that is a Budweiser similar scheme.
It is.
Rolling
Now,
to the back of the field. Despite the EOL, I think he is going to be really good out here tonight. He is a renowned short track guy within the league. I think he's going to be doing a great job out here tonight at Nashville Fairgrounds. Field getting stacked up. Pace cars lights are off. We are ready to go green flag racing out here tonight at Nashville.
I want to point out that outside second row, Will Moore. He very competitive, very strong. Came from the back in Michigan. He's someone to look out for this race as well, definitely.
Well, pace car diving down pit road, rolling through turns 3 and 4. Krishan Elliott, Keith Ayers, Trey Smith, and Will Moore. Through the restart zone we go, and green flag is in the air. We are racing here at Nashville. Couple cars in the midfield, away slow, but managing to get away clean. Through turns 1 and 2 we go. Start of the race here at Nashville. Off of turn 2. Whoa, we got trouble immediately. No caution so far, but out the corner of my eye, I saw Mike Loveless and a couple other guys go for a slide down the backstroke. Managed to recover it, though. We are still racing out here tonight. Krishan Elliott still leading the way at the moment. 19 of Keith Ayers behind.
Absolutely, that looked like the 5 of Dakota Henderson that got involved in that one. Scott Rush not making the start tonight, so Scott Rush going to be a scratch, it looks like.
Unfortunate way for this race to start, especially if you have to scratch in the case of Scott Rush. Krishan Elliott still leading the way. Let's jump down into the field a little bit. Let's go down to the 13 of Daniel Falconer, currently the most improved car on track. 11 positions gained since the start in the number 13 Nationwide Chevrolet SS off of turn 2. Running down the 42 and the 3 of Marcus Kaiser and Trey Smith, respectively. Start of lap 5 this time by 42 up on the high side off turn 4. 13 looking to get the run on the bottom of the racetrack, down into the front stretch. Into turn 1 we go again. Off of 2, down the backstretch we go. Field starting to spread out a little bit here. Need to make sure that the rest of the field doesn't run away with it. Krishan Elliott almost a full second ahead of Keith Ayers. Will Moore almost a full second behind him as well. Field really starting to spread out early. Tends to happen here in these ARCA cars. Once you get in some good air, these cars just love to run away from the field. Everything outside of drafting tracks can be used to your advantage in these ARCA cars. You don't need anybody to help you, and you can just run away with it.
Absolutely. Looks like we got a good battle for your third place position here. Will Moore getting a run on the 54 Blake Kirktrell, and 3 of Trey Smith also getting involved in that. So these cars really close together. The top, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th car. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Brandon Harris being the first victim of the night. Wayne Isbell slamming into the side of pit road. Let's take a look at what happened here. 33 of Brandon Harris got spun around by the 6 nowhere to go, and they both slam into the pit road entry wall. Huge collision for both of those cars. Wayne Isbell already going a lap down out here tonight. Krishan Elliott still leading the way.
Absolutely, man. You know, I was looking here through the field, and I noticed, Christian Elliott put down some good lap times, almost about 0.8 seconds in front of the second place car during that green flag stint. But I want to point out something: the insane amount of gap that these cars put on. This track only an 18-second track when you put down a quick lap. So definitely going to be interesting. There's not a lot of room for mistakes, and if you make a mistake, it could very well end your night.
Couldn't agree with you more. We are under caution for the first time here tonight. Fearless Broadcasting brought to you in part by our friends over at Premier Racing setups. Use code FEARLESS15, FEARLESS15 at checkout for 15% off your orders with Premier Racing setups.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one. Premier Racing.
Yep. We are back once again with the Wild West Racing League ARCA series here tonight at Nashville Fairgrounds. Still joined by my friend Chris Maxwell up here in the booth. We are getting ready to settle back in and go green flag once again here. I believe the pace car's lights will be off this time by. Yes, they are.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's definitely going to be interesting to see now that the tires are kind of scuffed up and warmed up. You know, Christopher not going to have the as big of a gap as what he had to start that race off with fresh tires. So it's definitely going to be interesting what tires are going to do to affect the start of this race.
Couldn't agree with you more as everybody's getting side by side. Sean Elliott, Keith Ayers, Blake Cuttrell, Will Moore, Trey Smith, Marcus Kaiser, Daniel Falconer, Brenton Coleman, James Napier, and Mike Loveless in the top 10. We go green flag once again here off of turn 4. Everybody away fantastically this time. Wayne Isbell down one lap. 3 wide for a moment off of turn 2. Managed to keep it safe. 19, the 29, and the 3. Being very bold out here tonight at Nashville. Off of turn 4, down the front stretch we go again.
Absolutely, and look at the launch that the 54 got, starting behind the 91 of Christopher Elliott. You know, the 19 just couldn't get as good of a launch on that outside row, and that allowed the 54 to take advantage of that launch and get in front of him early on that start to secure that second place. And definitely having a better run at your leader of the 91 Elliott, you know, I'm definitely seeing how 54 is running right in his tire tracks lap per lap, not trying to mess up one bit, and you can see it's paying off as he's able to stay within 2/100ths of a second behind them and closing.
Couldn't agree with you more. Let's start jumping into the field once again. Let's go down to Ty Sykes down in 11th place. Under pressure from the 5 of Dakota Henderson behind, running down the 4 of Brighton Coleman just ahead of him. Off of turn 4 past the start finish line. Everybody trying to keep their momentum going. For a small racetrack like Nashville is, this place does carry a lot of speed with these big banks. Not sure quite how steep the banking is here, but these guys are running the hell out of these ARCA cars out here tonight. Primarily Chevy-filled field. Jerome Cooper and Brandon Harrison, the only 2 Fords, and Marcus Kaiser in the only Toyota. Whoa! What a Ty Sykes gets sent around. Managed to recover it, still rolling, no caution. Off of turn 2, trying to rejoin safely. He is at the tail of the field now in 18th place. Managed to recover. Back on board with the 91 of Krishan Elliott through turns 3 and 4 past the pit road entry and down past the start finish line. Scraping off the wall. Got to be really careful with how hard you hit. These ARCA cars being the Gen 6 body, or I think these are early 5. Gen 6 bodies. Can really take a bit of a pounding off of the wall, but you have to be really careful with how you do it.
Absolutely. You know, I've been watching this battle between your first and second place here since the start, and, you know, it's definitely going to be interesting here as the laps dwindle down, because the 54 driving right in the tire tracks of the 91, but also driving it in a little bit harder than the 91. The 91 hitting the brake at about 129 miles per hour, where this 54 car getting on the straightaway, topping his car at about, getting on the brakes on his car about 132, 131. So it's definitely going to be interesting here seeing if that little difference of drive-in is going to affect how these tires wear see who loses tires quicker. You know, I don't think they're going to take pit stops here, but it definitely could happen. They have the tires and fuel available if they need it, but it'll definitely be interesting. Only going 70 miles around this 0.6 mile track, so it's definitely going to be interesting here.
Couldn't agree with you more as we jump back into the field once again. Let's go down to Marcus Kaiser on the lone Toyota off of turn 4 side by side with the 13 of Daniel Falconer. Nationwide machine on the bottom. Holding the high line, still blocking Dakota Henderson. Having a good night out here so far in the top 10. Currently up in 8th place, finally getting past the 13. Blocking the 13 down into turn 3 and 4. 5 Dakota Henderson trying to make a move on him now. Managing to block it, 13 on the inside once again as we go into 1 and 2. 5 Dakota Henderson holding the high side behind the 42. Couple cars really scraping up against the wall here. Gonna have to be really careful with how hard they hit off of turns 2 and 4. Don't want to be knocking the wall down, screwing up your overall skew of the axle. But
sorry for interrupt, but here comes the battle run for your lead here to the inside. The 54 of Blake Cuttrell to the inside of the 91 Christian Elliott, and he does not make it. But there is lap traffic in front of both of these drivers coming up. The
54 of Blake Cuttrell makes the move on Christian Elliott down into turns 1 and 2, passing on the inside of the backstretch off of turns 3 and 4 past the start-finish line. New leader, Blake Cuttrell. As the caution comes out, Will Moore and James Napier.
Absolutely. You know, I was watching the 54 and the 91 battling it out. 54 just driving slightly harder into the entrance of every corner and taking advantage of the slide up. But it was definitely going to be interesting if the caution didn't come out there, because they were coming up on the 8 of Justin Bell, who was a lap car. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they got around him and may continue to hold their lead.
Well, let's take a look at what happened with Will Moore and James Napier. Jumping back into this battle, 29 slides it into turn 3. 88 gives them a shunt, and they get hooked on each other. The high side off of turn 4. 88 of James Napier trying to get around the 29. 29 trying to make sure the traffic gets clear around him, almost coming back across and clobbering the 72 of Jerome Cooper as he came around.
Absolutely. Lead lap car is coming to pit this time by, so it'll be interesting to see what this does to take us back to green. Here comes the 54 of Blake Cuttrell and Christian Elliott winning the battle off of pit road, it looks like.
Daniel Falconer coming down pit road. Tanner Ensign staying out. Mike Presley, James Napier staying out as well. Surprising for the number 88 with the nose damage. Sorry about that. I'm helping a guy rebuild a vintage piece of rail equipment. I've been spending 2 years trying to help him fix this darn thing, and it's like he's messaging me now mid-broadcast. It's like, I'm busy with something!
Absolutely. Well, definitely going to be interesting for your leaders who are on new tires, more fuel, to see what is going to be the way to get around these guys.
Well, 44 of Tanner Ensign leading the way here as the pace car's lights are off, choosing the outside for the restart. Interesting strategy from the 44 of Tanner Ensign in the WIO Outlaw Custom Diecast. 44, 0 of Mike Presley beneath him in second. Rashawn Elliott and James Napier behind. Keith Ayers, Blake Cuttrell, Trey Smith, Mike Loveless, Dakota Henderson, Marcus Kaiser, Brighton Coleman, Brandon Harris, Will Moore, Ty Sykes, Timmy McDonald, Jerome Cooper, Daniel Falconer all on the lead lap. Justin Bell and Wayne Isbell both down 1 in 18th and 19th. Roll through turns 3 and 4, getting ready to go. Green flag back in the air once again. We are racing here at Nashville Fairgrounds.
that outside line get way better start with the cars behind Tanner having better tires.
Three
and
wide off a turn 1 and 2. Apologies for that. Oh, the 68 gets hooked. It's a huge one on the backstretch. Caution is out. And it's a parking lot off a turn 2.
Absolutely.
Little bit of everybody. All I see in SDK is red. Oh, that's just a great camera angle. Hang on. Let me see if I can get something better here. Let's go up to Chase. Far Chase, that'll help. All right, so 88 and the 5 slow off turn 2. Neck coated a little bit by the 42 and the 68. I believe that is the 33 of Brandon Harris that might have got involved a little bit. 25, the 8, 13, 72, the 4, 1, 8, and the... I believe the 8 also was involved. Yes, a little bit as well. A little bit of everybody down the road. Somebody, Jerome Cooper in the 72, completely missing his entire front end. Tanner Ensign still leading the way.
Absolutely here. Tanner Ensign still up front. Christopher and Elliott getting up to that second place position with Keith Ayers behind and third. Fourth going to be Trey Smith and Blake Cuttrell dropping down to the 5th place.
Couldn't agree with you more. Everybody trying to get settled back in. I'm surprised our leaders did not take the opportunity to take a pit stop. Regardless if they have the fuel to do it, it's just a good idea. Take the Bristol approach. If a caution comes out, pit. That's always been kind of my mentality at any kind of short track, really. Especially with big banks like this place here at Nashville Fairgrounds does. We roll down the backstretch, getting ready to go green flag once again. 44 and the 91, Tanner Ensign and Krishan Elliott. Starting the front row on this restart. 3 of Trey Smith and the 19 of Keith Ayers. 4 lightning fast drivers out here tonight. We go green flag once again. 44, very squirrely on the restart, getting the shunt of a lifetime from the 3 down into turn 1. Didn't quite make the move on the 91. See if he gets the move off of turn 2. Doesn't seem to quite have it. Still getting help from the 3 behind, holding the midline through turns 3 and 4. We go down the front stretch. He is past the 91. Not sure why he's not trying to go and block it though on the bottom of the racetrack. Holding the 91 down there, stuck on the yellow line. I'm sure the 91's getting antsy. Everybody a little squirrely off of turn 2. Down into turn 3 we go again. 91 with a great run into turn 3. Can't quite make it happen on the 4. Fastest start finish line, 30 laps to go here at Fairgrounds. Caution is out. James Napier. Jump and take a look. 88 of James Napier not having a great night out here tonight. Been struggling to keep this car going. Lost it off of turn 4. Managed to lock it down, but nose into the wall out here tonight at Nashville. And then reversed it immediately into the outfield and the outside wall at the flag stand. Tanner Ensign leading, Krishan Elliott in second, Trey Smith in third, Keith Ayers fourth, Blake Cuttrell in fifth, Marcus Kaiser in 6th, Daniel Falconer in 7th, Dakota Henderson in 8th, Mike Presley in 9th, Brighton Coleman in 10th, Mike Lovelace in 11th, Timmy McDonald in 12th, Ty Sykes in 13th, Wayne Isbell 14th, James Napier back out on the racetrack in 15th. Brandon Harris down pit road. Justin Bell, Jerome Cooper down pit road. Will Moore out of the race.
Will Moore actually looks like he's out of the race due to packet loss, so not due to a wreck, but due to something out of his control, but unfortunate nonetheless.
The woes of wireless internet. Many a broadcast messed up by that, I can assure you.
Absolutely.
We'll be rolling around at least one more time here at Nashville Fairgrounds, 4th caution of the night. Ooh, excuse me, hiccups.
Look like Tanner choosing the top line here, and
Consistent on that high side, which is an
Absolutely.
interesting strategy.
absolutely Jerome Cooper exited the track as well, so it looks like you have two cars not exiting early tonight.
Well, pace car's lights are off. 44 on the high side, 91 on the bottom. 319, 54, 42, 13, 5, 0, 4, 25, 68, 188, 6, 33, 8, 72, and 29. Rolling through turns 3 and 4 we go. Pace car down pit road. Through turns 3 and 4, green flag back in the air here at Nashville Fairgrounds. 25 laps to go. Anyone Christian Elliott away very well. Blasting past the 44 Tanner Ensign off of turn 2 down the backstretch. 44 Tanner Ensign trying to run down the 91. 91 to Christian Elliott holding a good lead at the moment. Got a part of a car and a half off of turn 4. Couple cars up into the wall. Got to be really careful. 19 of Keith Ayers really hard up into the wall. Side by side with the 54 as he starts slowing down off of turn 2. Not sure he broke something there. That could be a significant point in his race. He does not want to have any real damage out here tonight as he scrapes the wall again off of turn 4. Now you want to Christian Elliott almost a full second ahead of the 44-3 of Trey Smith up the inside. 19 of Keith Ayers driving it like a maniac. He's hitting both turn 4 and turn 2 exits. Not sure if he broke something, but he is having a hell of a time trying to keep that car straight. 54 up the inside of the 44, almost taking him out. 91 of Christian Elliott leading the way. Let's jump into the field a little bit more. Down to the 4, right Coleman. Down in 8th place at the moment. Timmy McDonald behind. One car very high off of turn 3. That's the 5 of Dakota Henderson on the back of your screen, falling back, leading positions down in 16th place. Now in 17th. Still on hold to the 4 off of turn 2, down the backstretch. 68 of Mike Lovelace, insanely loose off of turn 2. He's recovered holding the bottom of the racetrack. Mike Lovelace trying to hold off the tail end of the pack at the moment. About, I believe, a second behind the number 4. I can't quite make out what the number 4 sponsor is as we go off of turn 4. He's having a great race out here tonight at the moment. Nothing wrong with a top 10. He's sitting pretty up in 8th. Daniel Falconer, still the most improved car, just ahead of him in the number 13. He's still up 11 places since the start of this race. Less than 20 laps to go.
Absolutely. You know, I'm looking here at Tanner Ensign. He did not pit during any of these cautions, so on older tires and less fuel than a lot of these cars. So it's interesting to see how he's gonna stay up there and three car 19 car try to get around to see what's going on. Oh, contact between the 19 and the 3 as going into turn 3. 19 makes it ahead.
Keith Ayers and Trey Smith having a hell of a fight back through turns 1 and 2. 44 Trey Smith holding them up a little bit though. as the 54 and 91 of Blake Cuttrell and Sean Elliott run away with it, getting into the clean air I was talking about earlier. Once you're ahead, you don't have to worry about a thing. It's these tight packs on the short track you really have to worry about. These ARCA cars do not like racing in the dirty air, especially with the detuned ARCA package. They really don't have the giddy up that a lot of other cars do, like the next gens or the standard, quote-unquote, Gen 6 O'Reillys and all that kind of stuff. They don't have the same horsepower. They don't have the same grip. These cars are lower horsepower, which means they have more overall control. But these cars will still run better part of $190 at Talladega, as we saw this past weekend in real life.
Absolutely. And as you see here, 19 of Keith Aries to the inside of Tanner Ensign, trying to take over that third place position.
Whoa, 42 gets spun around and pummels the pit lane entrance. Caution is out. Marcus Kaiser destroyed off of turn 4. He drove straight up in 33's path. Let's take another look at what happens. I'm not sure if he got hit off of turn 3. 13 might have gotten into him. Daniel Falconer punted him into turn 3. Couldn't get it slowed down, smashed into the tire wall, collected the 88 a little bit, spun around again. Tried driving forward, didn't see the 33 coming, and that was the end of that.
Absolutely.
Fifth caution of the night here with the Wild West Racing League. Sean Elliott still leading the way. Tanner Ensign down pit road now. Mike Lovelace, James Napier, Justin Bell, Timmy McDonald, Mike Presley, Dakota Henderson, Brandon Harris, and Marcus Kaiser all down pit road. Well, it seems like neither of my picks are going to be in the top 5 tonight at the moment. But we'll have to see how these new tires work out for Tanner Ensign and Mike Lovelace as they just come off pit road in 10th and 11th.
Looks like my pick's currently leading this, so.
Couldn't agree with you more. Sean Elliott, a fantastic driver and a very consistently fast driver out here with the Wild West Racing League. He knows his stuff, and he knows how to drive the hell almost out of any car we race. These guys are just incredible in this league. These guys know how to really race these cars and be very aggressive in them. And I mean, yeah, we've had our races with plenty of cautions. Bristol in the Gen 4s a few weeks ago still haunts my mind. 20-something cautions and 16 laps of overtime, and we still couldn't get it done.
You know, that's why in real life they only have one chance to go green, white, checkered.
That's what I was suggesting for short track rules, like, you know, Talladega. I mean, sure, because that's a fun race. Daytona too, but you know, it's Bristol. It gets dull after a while. Pace car down pit road we go. 5th caution of the night coming to a close. Green flag back in the air. 7 laps to go. 91 and the 54. Side by side down into turn 1 we go. Trey Smith and the 19 of Keith Ayers still up in the second row. They've been up there all night, running very consistently. Trey Smith down to the bottom of the racetrack, walking the 19 down through turn 3 and 4 side by side. Off of turn 4, Trey Smith behind the 54, down behind the 91 again. Trying to get past his 54 on the bottom. 54 with a great run. Caution back in the air. Marcus Kaiser again. Down the front stretch, gets 6 of Wayne Isbell, completely blocked them. getting hooked on the 8 and the 33. Not sure what was going through Wayne Isbell's mind there. I don't even see. There he is. Take another look at this from Chase Cam. Far Chase, because I can't see it. 42. He braked a little too late, or the 42 committed way too hard, in my opinion, looking back at it. But I think this 6 kind of brake checked and cut straight across the 42's nose. Because the 42 didn't have any time to react to that. 6 just went straight down and blocked them. I mean, interesting situation out here tonight at Nashville Fairgrounds. Not sure if we're going to be going green, white, checkered, because I can't do math.
Yeah, well, it looks like we are. This is lap 67. Coming to the stripe will be lap 68, so it will definitely be a green, white, checker that we're going to the flag with.
Well, it is going to be an exciting way to end this race here at Nashville Fairgrounds with the Wild West Racing League ARCA Series. Brought to you by all of us here at Fearless Broadcasting and the Wild West Racing League. 6th caution of the night as we roll off of turn 2. Down the backstretch we go. Krishan Elliott, Blake Cuttrell, Trey Smith, Keith Ayers, Daniel Falconer, Ty Sykes, Tanner Ensign, Brighton Coleman, Wayne Isbell, Mike Loveless, Timmy McDonald, Brandon Harris, Dakota Henderson, James Napier, Mike Presley, and Marcus Kaiser, all on the lead lap. Justin Bell, Jerome Cooper, Will Moore, and Scott Rush, all out of the race. Yes, I know Scott Rush didn't start. Pace car's lights are off. Rolling through turns 1 and 2 we go again.
Here we go. Lap 69 coming to the stripe. It'll be lap 70. So we are definitely going to a green, white, checkered finish here.
We will go one lap over here at Nashville with the Wild West ARCA Series. Question still on the table. Who do you think's going to take it? Rolling through turns 3 and 4. Pace car down pit road. Green flag back in the air. 91 away with the 3 behind him. Down into turns 1 and 2 we go. 54 had a huge start. Still side by side with the 91. 91 real slow off of turn 2. Stuck with the 54 beside him. On a couple of cars up into the wall. Through turns 3 and 4. White flag is out. Coming back no matter what. It can be a demolition derby for all we care. Couple of cars sideways. Mike Presley and James Napier off of turn 4. Still green flag. 91 to 54. Down the backstretch we go. 91 of Krishan Elliott takes the lead, but sends it too wide. 54 up the inside off of turn 4. And they're wrecking behind. 54 of Blake Cuttrell wins here tonight at Nashville Fairgrounds. I keep getting lost. 91 Krishan Elliott in second, and the 19 of Keith Ayers in third. What a finish. Sorry, I wasn't trying to talk over you there, Chris.
No, you're good. You're good. That was a close battle coming to the line there, and a hectic one. But man, I don't know if you rewind it back, but if you see the run that the 54 of Blake got into turn 3, gave the bumper to the 91 of Elliott, and the rest is history. I would definitely rewind that.
More. What a fantastic finish. 91 of Krishan Elliott, only one of our top 3 who actually managed to make it back around the start-finish line. Apparently he kind of got a shot from the 54 into turn 3, is what eventually did him in 3 to Trey Smith, losing it off of turn 4. That's the start-finish line, wrecking out the rest of the field as they all piled into him behind. Huge crash involving the 33. The 13 was on the 44's roof. What a finish.
Absolutely.
Let's see if we can get Blake Cuttrell up in here.
Serious.
Blake Cuttrell, this is Pat Wilkinson and Chris Maxwell up in the booth. You got us.
Yes, sir. I got you.
Hang on. Here we go. Blake, congratulations on a fantastic win out here tonight with the Wild West Racing League ARCA series here at Nashville Fairgrounds. What a finish right there at the line off of turns 3 and 4. Talk us through it.
I mean, Krishan's my teammate, so I honestly didn't really mean to bump him there. I was just trying to get up under him, but I mean, that was part of it. Had a good restart, had a great restart, and then I coming out of 2 on the last lap, I got really tight, tried to give it a little bit too much mustard, and he got past me, and then I tried to get under him, gave him the bump, but he held it, so can't feel that bad about it. Super good race though.
Absolutely, giving him the old Dale Senior special.
I'm in that blue and yellow Wrangler car.
Heck yeah, brother.
Well, congratulations once again, Blake, and a fantastic finish out here tonight. Had to really fight your teammates, but it worked out in the end. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we sign off?
Thank you to Krishan for letting me race out here. I kind of stole the win from him, so feel a little bit bad on that one, but, you know, I appreciate him letting me race with him.
Well, we thank you for joining us up here tonight. We hope you had a great night of racing regardless, and hope to see more of you next time. How does that sound?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That was the 54 of Blake Cuttrell, your race winner, having led 51... Or no, that was Krishan Elliott. I realized I never turned my thing over. Oh well. Let's get Krishan Elliott up in here now. Second place finisher. Krishan Elliott, this is Pat Wilkinson and Chris Maxwell up in the booth. Do you got us?
Yep, I do. How you guys doing?
Very well, thank you.
Doing good.
Krishan, fantastic racing out there tonight. Led 51 laps, most out of anybody out here tonight at Nashville Fairgrounds. Beat out by your teammate of the 54 of Blake Cuttrell right at the line. Talk us through that last lap. What happened?
Well, first off, I can say that I did not want that green-white checkered. But yeah, when I cleared the 54 coming out of turn 2, I had a good run, so I'm like, I'm just going to stay low. I think I overbraked in the corner, even though it looked like he got to my bumper pretty quick. Just want the car to set so I could have a faster exit. Unfortunately, didn't get there, but he hit me square enough to where I could keep her straight. So, yeah, we'll take a P2 tonight, and yeah, good points tonight for the team, and looking forward to next week.
Chris,
absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Well, hey, I just want to say, I definitely a clean move there, but you know, is there anything you could have done on that corner entry that could have made it so he didn't get around you, or was you just along for the ride there at that point?
Honestly, looking back at it right now, I think I got to the gas too early running the top. I should have lifted a little bit more for a straighter exit. I think I would have had the speed to beat him on the outside, but my adrenaline was going so much. I don't even remember the last 10 laps because I was just so laser focused on what was ahead of me. And yeah, if I could redo that again, I would have probably sent it myself a little bit more so he didn't have a chance to get to my bumper, but you know, you learn.
Absolutely, man. Well, congratulations on your second place finish. Is there anyone you want to thank or anybody you want to shout out?
I would like to thank my teammates. Blake, he's part-time. He had a good win tonight. Trey, he had a really strong night, and I know Kaiser had a good night until I think he got involved in something, unfortunately. And I would also like to thank you guys for doing a great job. I can't wait to look at this race afterwards, and yeah, that's pretty much about it.
All right, well, thanks for joining us up in the booth, Krishan. We hope you had a great night regardless of that second place finish out here tonight at Nashville Fairgrounds. But a hell of a race from you regardless. Congratulations once again. Hope to see more of you in the future.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Let's get Keith Ayers up in here, and we will call it a night. Keith Ayers, this is Pat Wilkinson and Chris Maxwell up in the booth. You got us.
10-4.
Keith, congratulations on a fantastic third place finish out here tonight. at Nashville Fairgrounds with the Wild West ARCA Series. Talk us through that last lap, watching the 54 and the 91 go at it. Do you think you would have had an opportunity to beat them to the line, or did the 3 spinning it up off of turn 4 kind of hinder that for you?
Well, with Trey being on the inside of me almost the entire last lap, I knew I was kind of at a disadvantage. I was just waiting for the 2 in front of me to collide with one another, but I didn't get that wish. But it was a good race all around. Good top 5 run for me, considering how last week went. I'm just looking to rebound and move on to next week.
Chris?
Absolutely, man. You know, a lot of this race, you were, this race you started in the second place position, you stayed up front most of the night. You know, what do you feel like you needed throughout the night that could have got you up to the first place and possibly to win this thing from the start of the night?
It's a little wee bit faster car and a little wee bit faster track conditions, but like I said earlier, so it was around about a good night overall. So I'll gladly take a top 3 finish and move on to next week, considering I wrecked out of the race last week with 5 laps to go. So it was quite a rebound for me.
Absolutely. The last question I have for you is these cars, they definitely have a different effect when they're in dirtier compared to clean air. Could you tell that throughout tonight's run?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, once you get in dirty air, it's a complete night and day difference. But when you're in clean air, so yeah, you can definitely tell when it gets tighter in traffic versus looser and neutral in clean air.
Absolutely.
Well, Keith, congratulations once again, and thank you for joining us up in the booth tonight. Glad you had a great night of racing out here with the ARCA Series here in the Wild West Racing League, and we hope to see more of you next time.
You will definitely. I will be here next week, definitely.
All right. Appreciate you, and have a good night.
You too. Thanks.
Well, Chris, I want to thank you for letting me kind of run the show for you tonight. I apologize it was kind of last minute, but I wanted to make sure that this broadcast was a good one for everybody at home, since it is my last of my mainstream broadcasts. I want to thank you for taking a bit of the back seat on this one for me, and hopefully someday I'll pay it back to you.
Absolutely, man. No, it was great to do that for you. Let you take over one last time, and man, what a good one for you to take over on. A short run race, but it was definitely an exciting one to end it off on. I'm glad you reached out, and I'm glad I can do this for you.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Well, folks, you have yet again managed to spend another perfectly good hour with all of us here at Fearless Broadcasting. We hope you've enjoyed the show. For my final mainstream broadcast, again, I am not going anywhere, in case anybody is confused. I am just going to start an actual real-life job tomorrow night, and I will no longer be available to do this on the weeknights, as I won't be home till better part of midnight. So it's not really like an option for me. I have to kind of go back to work. But I will still be here on the weekends for all of your guys' enjoyment with the Dutch's Dirty Dozen on Saturdays and whatever special events or new leagues we have on Saturdays in the future, and the upcoming AINO Garage GR86 Cup Series. That'll be fun in a few weeks' time. That's coming up in May, alongside the regularly scheduled Wild West Racing League Truck Series on Sunday nights with all of us here at Fearless Broadcasting. Wild West Racing League brought to you in part by the WIO Outlaw Custom Diecast, the Stand for Wit Foundation, and Redline Radio, and of course our friends over at Raiders Wasteland, the premier DayZ experience on Xbox, veteran owned and operated. Raiders Wasteland offering something for every gamer looking to survive the zombie apocalypse. Weekly events for PvE and PvP players, and different maps for all to enjoy. Join the Discord today at Raider PvE, RAIDER PvE. Fearless Broadcasting brought to you in part by the Fearless Racing Network, Fearless Setup Shops, Puffy's Swag Shop, Goose's Rattle Can Shop, and Rock Bottom Racing, and of course our friends over at Juicy Spider Studios and Premier Racing Setups. Use code FEARLESS15, that's FEARLESS15 at checkout for 15% off your orders. Until next time, my name is Pat Wilkinson up in the booth, joined by my friend Chris Maxwell. And until next time, goodbye, farewell, and amen. I'm giving you a chance to sign off, too.
Oh, goodbye.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Fearless Broadcasting. My name's Pat Wilkinson, up in the booth for, yes, it is here, ladies and gentlemen, the final mainstream broadcast with all of you watching wherever you are in the world. So I wanted to take a quick moment pre and post race to just say thank you all for watching. We hope you've enjoyed all of the broadcasts that I've been a part of over the past 5 months. Really, truly has meant a great deal to me and to all of us here at Fearless Broadcasting that you've shown us so much support. When I first started here, we were just shy of 300 subscribers. And as of last week, we are up to 700 of you watching all over the world. So we couldn't be more thankful for all the wonderful support you guys have done for all of us here at Fearless Broadcasting. Of course, it's not just me. It's, of course, the boss as well, Ethan Farless, all the guys and all the teams we've broadcasted for, all the series and leagues that we've worked with over these past 5 months. Has been an absolute pleasure to be broadcasting for all of you and to be racing with you before I started broadcasting, of course. None of this would have happened if I, well, essentially got laid off back in December. And now that I have a new job coming tomorrow, where I'm going to be working at night, sadly, this is no longer a overall option for me to continue doing. I need to put my real world ahead of my private world. As much as I enjoy broadcasting, it's not paying enough of the bills. So, unfortunately, I will be going over to weekend broadcasts exclusively from now on. We will still be doing the Dutch's Dirty Dozen on Saturday nights, and then we will be doing the Wild West Racing League Raiders Wasteland Truck Series on Sundays. And coming up in May, we have the AINO GR86 iRacing Cup, which will be starting soon in May. So keep your eyes out for that. That'll be a afternoon series starting around 3 o'clock Eastern Time here on Fearless Broadcasting, and those will be headed by me and anybody else who joins me up in the booth. Everybody will be welcome, of course. We also have the Wild West 600 coming up soon in May, the Saturday before the Indy 500 of Memorial Day weekend. So make sure to tune in for that. That is going to be 600 miles of nothing but pure chaos with the Wild West Racing League, and we can't be more excited for it. So please make sure that you guys continue to subscribe and watch the streams. It really does mean a lot to us. And I just wanted to say, for the last time, thank you for all of your support. Thank you for all of the enjoyment and just overall fun we've managed to have over the past 5 months since December. I've got nothing else to say. Thank you all for watching. We hope you've enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more racing action with all of us here at Fearless Broadcasting. And until next time, goodbye, farewell, and amen.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one. Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
This isn't just another sim race, this isn't just another online league, and this isn't just another trophy on a shelf. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Drivers choose the charity. Talent chooses the winner. The culture is strong, but the competition is stronger. Most events focus on just one cause, not here. Each driver selects a charity to race for, leaving dozens of causes in contention as drivers fight for a place in the top 5.
Think you've got what it takes to join the Charity Cup Series? Find a cause you believe in and buckle up. This is more than your everyday sim racing experience. This is the Charity Cup Series.
This isn't just another sim race, this isn't just another online league, and this isn't just another trophy on a shelf. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Drivers choose the charity. Talent chooses the winner. The culture is strong, but the competition is stronger. Most events focus on just one cause, not here. Each driver selects a charity to race for, leaving dozens of causes in contention as drivers fight for a place in the top 5.
Think you've got what it takes to join the Charity Cup Series? Find a cause you believe in and buckle up. This is more than your everyday sim racing experience. This is the Charity Cup Series.
This
Real quick, people stop the real quick touch. Double check the steering wheel. Control.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Nice and smooth. Get it all done all day long. Got a good feeling about today, guys.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
It's too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.